G'day everyone, it is time for Ask Gabe, hashtag Ask Gabe, hashtag Ask Gabe SEO. G'day Gabe, how are you?
Good mate, how you doing Ross?
Doing good. I've got a great question today from Vimal Jain. Thanks Vimal for sending this in. He wants to know, is it better to have a subdomain like blog.website.com as part of a website, or is it better to have the subfolder? Saying this for the people who don't know, website.com/blog. What's better? What's better?
I have to say this is one of those questions in the SEO community. We always have a laugh when somebody asks, just because it's asked so often, and it's a little bit of a debate as to which direction you go. So, best case scenario, as far as I'm concerned, is to have the subfolder. So, website.com/blog. The simple reason is that Google, for the most part, sees a subdomain, so blog.website.com, as being like a separate entity to website.com/blog. So for the purposes of SEO, they almost see it as two completely different websites, almost. So if you're thinking about things like links and having to build up authority over time, you're now almost doubling the amount of work it's going to take, because you're going to need to build up your subdomain separate to the rest of your website. Whereas if you can have content hosted under a subfolder, like /blog, you are then going to be able to benefit and capitalize on all of the authority and the signals that have been developed across the website as a whole. So it's a bit of a shortcut to progress. Obviously, as with anything, the answer in SEO is it depends. So there are exceptions to the rule. One being, there are times where, let's say, you can't host a blog on the main subfolder due to maybe like some technical considerations. And so you need to have that subdomain set up, or, it works best with the structure and configuration that the client has. So there are times there are exceptions, but in summary, I'm always in favor of having a subfolder over a subdomain.
Right. I might be going out on a limb here to try to bring this into an analogy, but I'm a sales guy, so I'm always going to try to do that. If you think of, I like the old house analogies, right? So the way I'm looking at this, like subdomain versus subfolder, like if I'm thinking about, okay, my dad's going to come move in with us, and we've got the granny flat, which is out the back, disconnected from the house. It's a bit harder to find, but it's there. It's still here. Or he can move into the garage, which is connected to the house, and there's a door through. Is that a good analogy? Like, it just makes it a bit more connected?
I love it. I use a similar analogy. It's everything's under one roof, right?
That's it,
rather than having two different premises. Let's say you've got two different houses, you need to pay for twice as much cleaning. If it's all one house, everything's done in one. So it's going to be a little bit more efficient. You're going to save money as well. And you're just going to have to worry about less from an SEO perspective. So it's, generally speaking, almost always the best approach.
Love it. Awesome, Gabe. Thanks so much. Thanks, Vimal, for the question.